This is Get UNSTUCK Radio Ep.6 How Buyers Buy with Dr. Nancy Zare. Welcome to Get UNSTUCK Radio, the place to brainstorm with you on business and life strategy. To get unstuck with system, automation, and delegation. And also to get clarity for sustainable business and lifestyle. I'm your host, Mutita Panmook. Let's get unstuck. Thank you so much, Nancy Zare, to join me today on my podcast and YouTube. I'm so glad that I get to learn from the expert that combine between psychologist and the sales skills. Oh my gosh, this is excited.
I'm excited too. Thank you so much for having me as your guest.
Yeah, you mentioned that you discover about to combine between the personality characteristic. What is the term that you use? Sorry.
I use the term personality styles. Back in the era of Hippocrates, who was the father of modern medicine, so this is 2,000 years ago, he said that there were 4 different ways that he found that people were presented to him medically and psychologically. 4 different styles. He called them temperaments. And later research has substantiated and validated that there seem to be 4 distinct ways that people are wired and think. Now, over the years, people have invented many systems. In fact, there are over 200 systems that talk about these 4 different styles. So as you can tell, there is something to this theory that there are 4 ways that people communicate and maybe even physiologically are programmed.
Right. And from there to now, how things has been changed.
Yes, what's changed is that we keep doing more research and we find out that, yes, people seem to be grouped in these 4 categories. I think of them as values. They're based on people's values, priorities. And I give an analogy, Mutita, of thinking about fruits and vegetables, because we know that fruits and vegetables are good for the body. They have vitamins and minerals and phytochemicals, all sorts of nutrients that our bodies need. But I bet that the ones you like and the ones that I like are different. And yet they're both valuable. Does that make sense?
Yeah, indeed.
So just like people also prefer different ways of prioritizing values, different ways of thinking, and then communicating based on those values.
Yeah, like I understand. So let me compare with what I understanding in terms of marketing, right? That we have to do the market research in order to understand what they likes, what they speak, and whatsoever, and you combine that to be their personalities, isn't it? Then the hard part would be, it would be hard for me to assume if I'm not asking them. But is there other way to discover the right personality for those who I sales?
Oh, I'm so glad you asked, because that is what I excel in, is helping my clients figure out and discover which person is which based upon in less than a minute. Can you believe it? In less than a minute.
Oh, come on, I'm chill.
I know, it's so exciting. And so here are there are 6 different ways you can figure it out. There may be more, but these are the categories that I use. The first category is what they wear, how they look, their accessories, their clothing, their colors, their patterns, their jewelry, even eyeglasses, wristwatch, all these accessories.
Oh.
That's way number 1.
Okay.
Second method is their vocal qualities. Sometimes we don't get to see them. We hear them on the phone or we hear them over Skype. So how do we recognize them through their vocal qualities? And again, there are very distinct ways people speak: fast, slow, intonation, tonality. Do they speak in complete sentences, bullets, paragraphs? All of these are ways.
Oh,
The third way is their mannerisms. So do they come to an event early? Do they come right on time? Do they come late? Do they have an excuse because they're late? These are their mannerisms. This is their behaviors. And there are many other behaviors like that. And then the next way is the social media. And so we look at, are they on social media? What kinds of photographs do they use? With people, without people? Are they smiling, not smiling? Many ways to figure it out. And that also brings up the next thing, which is correspondence, because the words they use and the way they write also distinguishes these 4 types.
Mm.
And when you look at social media, they usually write something. There's something about them. Now, occasionally, like LinkedIn, somebody else might write it for you, and you can tell that it's not the person. It's too glossy. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
You as a marketing person, you would know, right?
Yeah. I mean, yeah, I have been seeing, because like I also sometimes use my assistant to do it on my behalf in that sense.
Okay. The last way that I teach my clients is by looking at the decor, how they decorate their office or their home, especially if you get to go to the office or home. Sometimes that last one, sometimes you don't see. But again, if you're a realtor and you get to see the person's home, how do they decorate it? Are they organized or disorganized? Do they have piles of clutter? All of this is characteristic.
Wow. Yeah. I mean, I understand the word persona, but I forget to think about overall, like from from head to bottom, right? Like how they behave in that sense. Yeah. I never think that deep. All right. And how do I know? Is that have to be like when I discover when two-way communication, or I can think in terms of who I want to work with?
Oh, I love that question, because you are so smart. You're so savvy that you are really understanding and beginning to apply the power of understanding personality style when it comes to marketing and sales. Because my clients, I know you're smiling because honestly, Mutita, you are smart, because my clients, once they understand these 4 styles, I ask them to go back and look at their clients, and they find out that there's 1 or 2 of the 4 styles that they like to work with the best. And so now we shift all the marketing messages so that we are attracting that 1 or 2 styles.
Oh,
So
yeah.
you are smart.
Yeah, because like I also having that problem as well in the past few months, that like this is not the right client that I want to work with. And I don't know why. It's because of me or because of my marketing or because of them that like come to me. I have no idea, but that makes more sense. So again, I have to change the way I present myself into the world, like what they want to receive, right?
Well, again, you want to treat others the way they prefer to be treated.
Mm.
Not so much that you change yourself, because here's the good news. All 4 personality styles are within us. We are a combination of all 4, just in a different order, okay, and a different amount. So I can authentically pull up a style that matches my prospect, the other person, and I'm not doing it in a false or phony way, but because I have this style within me. But I now know the right words to use, and especially talk about the values that are relevant to the prospect. Now the prospect relaxes, feels like they can trust me, we get comfortable, the sales resistance drops away, and that opens the door to closing more sales.
Oh yeah, I know. I know how hard to like, even though I have the knowledge, but to make them feel like they can trust me, that's really hard. Especially I'm young, you know, the age barrier is always there. Like it's always the thing that I have to push and straight further. Like, hey, I can help you in that sense, but it's okay if you don't want to need my help right now in that sense. So it's something that I have to prove along the way. So I used to hire copywriter to help my message to be better.
You used to hire a copywriter?
Yeah, I used to. But then I discover.
You started to say, I used to hire a copywriter.
Yes, so I used to hire copywriter, but then the message that I got from copywriter, I feel more confidence. I thought that I was in a good hand in the sense that they wrote for me and I like it, but it's not that me 100%. So it's not that my tonality and my personality within the message. Then once I stop hired copywriter and try to change the whole message of myself, it's getting better because I'm more authentic in that sense.
I totally understand. I recently chose to bring on an intern who is helping me with social media posts. And the biggest challenge I had, it took me 18 months to bring on an intern. And the reason it took so long is exactly what you said. I had to find someone who could represent me authentically, not just put up posts for the sake of putting up a post, but someone who actually, from a tonal point of view, could speak on my behalf.
Yeah, and that's very hard. Even though I have trained many VAs and also asking many experienced VA how they do their work. Normally, they would say that they will go back and watch all of the videos of their boss and also get to know, like read all the posts that he have done or she have written by herself and so on. But there must be something that we have to share, the personality between us. If not, they couldn't do things on my behalf in that sense. I don't know why, but I believe you have that to crack the code.
So here's, next time you want to hire somebody, I'm happy to share with you how to identify the personality style so that it's a closer match to who you are. And therefore, it will hasten the ability to work together effectively and to build that relationship so that you feel you can trust them.
Yeah, I mean, that's very important. I can ask for your time again later. Don't go deep about that. I believe that many people also experience the same thing. Like, I bet, definitely. So for about today, we will go dive into the 4 personality, right?
Yes.
So tell me more about it.
Okay, so again, remember that there are over 200 personality systems that have evolved since the time of Hippocrates, and they go by many names. Some of them are by colors, some of them by objects, some of them by animals. I mean, 200 of these programs. I have created one I call Lens. Lens is a 4-letter word, so we look through the lens of the prospect. And the lens, the letter for L is learning. So this is the style that is very much focused on learning, taking a deep nosedive into information. This is the person who likes data and wants things precise and values, people who are intelligent and well educated. Does that begin to form a picture of who this person is?
Yeah, sounds like me. Like, okay. Get data.
The second type, remember, you have all four within you, Mutita, not just one.
Okay.
The second type is the E stands for energizing. This is a person full of energy. They're so excited and they're driven and they're competitive and they want to win and they want to come out on top. They like the best things. They jump into life, have to have it all. It has to be highest quality. And their number one value is freedom. And by freedom, it isn't just political freedom, religious freedom. They're talking about economic freedom. This person, no ceilings. They want to do what they do whenever they do it. No bosses, no rules, no restrictions. Are you getting the idea of who this person is?
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Freelancer, contractor, and so on. Yeah, I got it. Okay. This is like the new era. Okay.
The third type, the N I call networking type, because this person wants to net with other people. Their biggest value is relationships, and it should be authentic and genuine, heart to heart. This is a person who believes in causes and wants to make the world a better place. You know, they care passionately about others. Okay, is that making, you're feeling it?
Yeah. Oh, this is getting harder and harder. Okay.
Okay, I know. And the last type, the S stands for stabilizing. Their number one value is stability. They dislike change. They like things to stay the same, very traditional, conservative. They follow the rules. There's a structure, there's a process, there's a sequential system. And this person makes law and order. They want things just so.
Oh, this is hard. So who am I?
Well, guess what? I have what I call the likability assessment, where it doesn't take long and I can help you identify which of the four. Remember, you are all four, just in a different order and a different amount.
And when we discover our personality, how can that helps us to find the buyer persona then?
So I put more emphasis on being able to understand the buyer and speak the buyer's values, and less so on your own style. It's important to know your style because everybody's style rubs someone the wrong way. So everybody has kind of, sharp edges that people go, ooh, that sticks. I don't like that. So for example, the learning style is very slow and methodical and takes their time to come to a conclusion because they're doing so much research and they're thinking. Well, that will annoy the energizing style that's a very quick decision maker and wants results now. And at the same time, that energizing style that is, full speed ahead absolutely annoys the stabilizing style because they think it's full of hype, and this person, is way too fast and they're undisciplined and there's no order to what's going on. And that stabilizing style, who wants everything just so, annoys the networking style. Do you get what I'm saying? Every style has its pros and cons.
Yeah. Oh, okay. So how far you help your clients currently? Like, is this only the first thing that they will go through with you, or like there are many steps further, if I may ask?
There are 5 steps in the system I call a likability. That's the word like with an A in front of it, a likability. And because I made up the word a likability, I get to tell you what it means. And it is a skill that raises the feeling, the thought within the prospect that we're alike, that we are similar. And when somebody feels we're alike, they relax and sales resistance will drop away so we can do business together. So the 5 steps are: step 1, know that there are these 4 different ways that people communicate. Step 2, know your style, especially because you need to know your strengths as well as your weaknesses. Step 3, and you asked that right at the beginning, how do I figure out somebody's style? How do I diagnose their style? Step 4 is to shift yourself authentically and speak the language of the prospect. And step 5 is to downplay and discard that part in you that is the rough edge that will bother your prospect. So we work on all 5 of these steps in order for somebody to have massive success in sales.
So in terms of, this day, the word influencer also very popular. What do you think in terms of someone who want to position themselves as the expert in the industry, or like holding the authority position, and of course be able to close massive sales, always high tickets and so on, and then attract the clients that they want to work with, also those who like to work with them? Are these important part of their sales process?
I'm glad you asked because, again, there are 4 different buyers. And one of the buyers is very impressed with information and expertise, and that is your learning buyer. They love that. Secondarily, your stabilizing buyer, especially if you can show history and tradition of the information, a background, they too will like this. But your energizing buyer, your networking buyer are going to be less impressed. Why? Because they want a personal connection, especially the networking buyer. Remember, they're all about authenticity, about a relationship, about a bond. They are actually not buying information, they're buying you. And feel that you and that we are now friends. Honestly, Mutita, after establishing that friendship, they will do anything and everything with you because they become very loyal. Unless you disappoint them, of course, then they could turn. Okay? So again,
Important.
I know that marketing often grabs hold of something trendy. Okay, and right now it's becoming the expert, the thought leader. And clearly, I've done my role to become a thought leader. Hence, that's why I'm also working with you right now on the podcast, because I want to elevate myself as somebody who is an expert. But when it comes to the actual person who wants to become my client, again, 4 different styles. And I cannot sell myself as an expert to the person who's looking for a relationship. Instead, we need to go heart to heart, and they need to know that I'm a genuine person who truly cares about them and cares about their getting results, and that it's not a transaction. It is truly something that I am giving to them because of our relationship.
So you are networking type, the top one?
I am. That is my first type. Many people think it's Dr. Nancy Zare because I do have a PhD. They think that I'm probably the learning type, and certainly I have learning in me. And also, you notice that I am very dramatic and very energetic. And, so some people think I come across as the energizing style. And because I am very methodical and I have a system and I follow it, the stabilizing person will think that I too am like them.
So you can work with all of them in that sense.
I better work with all of them or I wouldn't be doing a good job, right? Yeah, I know.
100%. Oh my gosh.
But I do have my favorites. I have to admit, I have my favorites.
Oh, really? Oh, so do you pick your clients or the clients choose you?
Well, it's a combination. Wouldn't you agree? It has to be a good fit. The client needs to feel comfortable in choosing you. And at the same time, you said a bit ago that there are people with whom you don't feel as comfortable and that maybe it's not a good fit. So here's some advice. May I offer a suggestion?
Please.
Okay. The suggestion is that every person needs to find somebody who does what they do, but who has a different personality style, so that the two of you can share referrals of clients, so that the clients I prefer, I will work with, but the ones where there's not as much of the connection, I can refer them to you, and vice versa. Hence, we can actually become referral partners, even though we do similar things.
Yeah.
Isn't that an amazing concept?
I know, 100%. So that's actually how I live my life currently, like referral. That's amazing things. Like, yeah, I mean, that's the easiest way because it's always from trust and I know the result of the work. If not, I wouldn't say anything because I have to keep my own word in that sense.
I agree.
Yeah, 100%. Wow, I love this conversation. This is so...
Yeah, I agree.
So you mentioned to me that you are so eager to share about the secret of top producer and uplift other solopreneurs in that sense. Are these secrets the 4 style that you just mentioned? or
Yeah.
is there any others else for the solopreneur?
So I do believe that the biggest secret of top producers is that they are what I call chameleons. And a chameleon is an animal that has the ability to change its color based upon
Oh,
environment.
okay, I know now. Yeah.
You know the little chameleons? They're little lizards and they change color. And
Uh-huh.
when they're on the green leaf, they're green. And when they're on the brown trunk, they're brown.
Uh-huh.
Well, the best salespeople shift the way they communicate so that they match the other person. And it's exactly what I've been telling you. They follow the platinum rule. They are able to treat the other person in the style and the manner that that person prefers to be treated. And it's not that that prospect said to them, I want you to treat me this way. It's that the best salespeople read it. They're able to discern it, again, by looking at the way the person's dressed, listening to how they talk, their mannerisms. Perhaps they looked them up on social media. They read some of their correspondence. Maybe they were in the office or the home and they saw the decor. So these are tip-offs. And until you know what this means, you and I are collecting the information, but we don't know how to categorize it. We can tell that somebody's speaking very slowly and thoughtfully, but we don't know what that means, and we don't know how to present ourselves when we come across that kind of person. And that's what I excel in.
Oh, you just nailed it. Like that's like your 2 cents right there. Right. Oh my gosh. Yeah. I mean, this is so good. So if someone listen to this and say, hey, I need to follow Nancy right now. Like she is the real deal right now. Like she's here. Do you have your book, isn't it? The international bestseller one. Tell us more about that.
Well, yes, I do have a book that just became an international bestseller. It's available through Amazon as an electronic book called Words That Sell with Style.
Mm-hmm.
And it actually is a reference book. It's going to give you lists of words that you can use with each of the 4 styles, words that will quickly and authentically connect with the other person. And when you use that in your speech or you use that in your correspondence, the individual is going to say, wow, you get me, we're alike. And as a result, you'll be able to do business together.
Oh my gosh, that's like the goal right there. Like it can save you a lot of copywriters money that you have to spend each month because you know the word already. Wow. Thank you for writing that book and congratulations on your international bestseller.
Thank you.
Yeah. So, and how can people find you then? Are you available in anywhere on the social media right now?
Absolutely. I'm available through LinkedIn. I'm available Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. I also have a YouTube channel, although it's not as well developed, but I do have tips on the YouTube channel. So lots of ways. And for anyone who does reach out and connect with me, I have a free gift. And it's the 4 magical questions that will connect quickly and authentically with each of those 4 styles that will allow you to test your rapport and hence make the sale.
Thank you so much, Dr. Nancy. I appreciate your time. So thank you so much for sharing this precious information today and hope to connect with you further.
Me too, Mutita. It's been my pleasure. Thank you.
Thank you for joining me for this episode of Get Unstuck Radio. If you enjoy the show, make sure you subscribe so you automatically get new show every week. I would love to if you left us the review. If you want to get unstuck, check my 5-step entrepreneur freedom formula for scaling your business without sacrificing your lifestyle at worldwideweb.extraordinarylybymutita.com/freedom. Speak then.